Balance is one of those things that require lots of systems. We've gone over them: visual, vestibular, and proprioceptive. Now, one of the other things to remember about balance, our visual system and our brainstem response system is affected by excessive stress. And the most prominent way you'll see that is we lose our peripheral vision. So our eyes narrow and we don't see things here. That's a bit of a problem because you can end up falling over and injuring yourself. So some of the things that I like to do in a class is to help people work on their peripheral as part of their stress management. So this is one of the systems, or one of the things that I like to incorporate, and this is called the Makarlu Wall. Now, I like to use the Makarlu here because they're magnetic, but they're also large, bright objects that don't fall off. I used to do this using post-it notes, you know, those big bright post-it notes, and I'd be playing the game and they just peeled off and fell to the floor. If you don't have the Makarlu stuff, you can try it with the post-it notes, but just be warned, it can go wrong very quickly. So what I have here is I have Exhibit A, known as Michael. Michael has a little clock here, and you can see that I've broken up the clock. He's been playing with it in between. I've put the clock into quadrants, okay? And you can see I've got quite a small quadrant. So thinking that his visual system is narrowed down. So we're going to work in a narrow circle and then progressively open that circle out. And the first thing that we're going to do is not moving the head, Michael. I'm going to get you to go from 12 o'clock to 3 o'clock. Or is that 12? 1? Oh, okay. Michael's really good at maths. I'm not. So, Michael, can you go from 1 o'clock to 3 o'clock, please? Just moving your eyes. And stop on each object. Then go from 3 o'clock to 1 o'clock. Then you're going to go from 1 o'clock through to 6 o'clock. And then go backwards from 6 o'clock. So I know this looks like you're paint drying, but this is the sort of thing you'll work. You'll work in quadrants, and you can see each quadrant is a different colour, or a really bright colour, so people can focus on it. Now, what I would then do to help with the process is to get a stick. Often the dowel from the Wonder Chair is really good, but Michael likes using my pink sparkly stick. I think he said, am I having to summon bright unicorns? I gave it to him and he said, am I summoning magical unicorns? Okay, no, just do as you're told. So now, Michael, what I'm going to get you to do is, with your right hand, go around the clock, touching each. So again, think of this as very simple steps. With clients, I will make them do this, first of all, seated, not moving at all, just seated comfortably. And this is not just for clients who are stressed. This is clients with any sort of vestibular problems or visual problems because of a stroke, because of diabetes, because of some of the inflammations from things like rheumatoid arthritis. Nice, Michael. Have you done both hands?
No.
Thank you. Can you do both hands? So you'll do things like doing quadrants, you'll make them go all around. And sometimes you'll get a comment back from them going, I had a real trouble focusing on this quadrant. And when they say that, you go, let's look back at that. And you'll find that there are some quadrants that require certain muscles to be working. Because your eyes have lots of muscles, we just forget about them. They don't look very good on Instagram. But those muscles have to be worked as well. And so it could be that these muscles just haven't been worked because we don't look in that field of vision. I found when we were wearing masks all the time, people started to lose vision in this quadrant because it was blocked. So they just thought, I can't be bothered looking there. And so retraining that is part of what we're looking at here. Remembering, we're going to use this stick because it helps us see what the clients are doing. but it's also part of that visual hand coordination. So, you know, we talk about goals with clients, and so maybe one of their goals is making a cup of tea without spilling it because they've got arthritis in their hands. So part of making a cup of tea, when we break that task down, is about having the organisation and the ability to pour the water in the right spot. So that requires hand-eye coordination. Might be better at tennis. So incorporating some of this hand-eye work is also a really useful skill. How's that feeling, Michael?
That's all good.
All good? Okay. So once you've got them to do a really kind of a simple pattern, you start to make it a little bit more complex. And this becomes really useful for some of your older clients or clients who might have concentration or memory type issues, because it's nice to get the brain cells stimulated. So you might play a game. So you'll see here in the middle, I have the wooden dome, just the wooden base from the Makarlu, and I've just has it on the slider, use that magnetically. You could use a really bright coloured dome, and what I get my clients to do is to go from one dome to the middle. And you go, oh, this is really easy. But what you start to see is people lose concentration and they get fast, and you'll miss it. And they start to go you'll see them go 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, or they'll go 1, 2, 3, tapping in the middle. Shows you there might be some intention or sequencing issues. And so you might get them to practice that to teach them to slow down, because that sort of issue will affect their organisation of movement in the class, as well as their organisation and planning for balance. Remember, planning is part of how you avoid a fall. Okay? How's that feel, Michael?
That's good.
No hassles?
Concentrating to keep them in the right order.
Yeah. And then you make it more complex, because that's my job. Okay, so what I might do is I might take all the pink ones and make my client go white, pink, white, pink, white, pink. And you can see I've just put a different size white in there. So you start at the white, Michael, and you go white, pink, white, pink. And you play it up, you change it, and you'll see that I've done this in the bottom order where he might have a lot more eye focusing issues. Yeah, good. And then what you might do is I want you to go white, pink, blue, white. So you'll change it all up. It's a game, but it's about getting them to really start using their eyes and their muscles of their eyes. Then once you start to, as you start to get them more confident, you make the circle bigger, because remember, we want them to start to expand their horizons outside of that periphery. We have now had our client working on their visual system and their hand-eye coordination seated. Now, we need to add a little bit more challenge. I like to add the challenge, still seated, but adding a slight vestibular challenge. So that means head turning, moving head forward and back. So I make sure they're seated on their chair. Like, I like to use the Wonder Chair because I'm going to incorporate this later on in the program as well. So Michael, what you're going to do is sit nice and tall, and this time you're going to lean forward and touch the biggest black dome that you can see. Yeah. Now you're going to touch the biggest blue dome. So you're getting this head moving, rocking. And what I like about this is you're also training people. So when you move forward like that, you're giving them a visual target. So you're bringing the visual and vestibular response system into operation, but you're also getting them used to the idea of falling forward, helping them to train a response so they don't land. The other thing is that as you go forward like that, there is a response where your back extensors tighten up. So you're getting a little bit of a muscle activation thing there as well. How's that? Okay, Michael? So we're then going to progress it a little bit more. A little bit more movement in a movement class is pretty scary. Michael, you're going to do a sit to stand. So maybe just do a split sit to stand, 1 foot forward and 1 foot back. Okay, so bring that leg in a bit more. Oh, yeah. So from there, you're going to come up to standing, and I want you to touch the highest blue. And down. So, we're working on sit to stand, and we're getting them to be feeling comfortable with moving up. Now, for some clients, I'm going to be sitting here and making sure the sit to stand is really close. So that's that grading of your movement. But you can then start to play games. Michael, I want you to, with your right hand, touch 1 blue, and with your left hand, touch 1 pink. Good. And done. So you're getting them to practice, and you can be as creative as you like. That's the joy of being a Pilates teacher. Okay, so then one more thing about the vestibular system. We're going to get you to move your head. Now, so far, we've been really keeping the head forward and we're just moving the eyes. Now, Michael, what I'd like you to do is keep your eyes fixed on this middle bit, move your head, and then move your eyes to follow. A bit like the Mona Lisa. Move your head and then move your eyes. Yeah, it's hard, isn't it? If you could see his facial, it's like move your head, then move your eyes. Then move your eyes, then move your head. It is kind of hard, isn't it? Yeah, but it's just me. You're walking, you see something over there, but your head's not, so you see that there, but you haven't moved your head fast enough, and then you sort of get all kind of muddled. So you want to train people to move their head and eyes really quickly. Think you're playing tennis with Roger Federer, okay? I probably could, no, I still couldn't win with him at this age. But, so you're getting your eyes and head moving. So now we're progressing this eye series again. This time, I'm going to have Michael seated on the Wonder Chair. So if you can just sit on there, please. At first, you might keep it both pedals in. I'm going to make it complex for Michael and put it straight into a split pedal system. Can you put your feet on there, please? Okay, so we're going to introduce sit tall, first of all, okay? Now, you're going to let your legs move up and down, okay? And this time, as you move up and down, you're going to let your eyes move. We're bringing a muscular challenge, proprioceptive organisation, control, coordination, complexity of movement. Remember, you're most likely to fall when you're not concentrating. So you have to train those reactions. How's that feel?
That's good.
So, and you can see I've made the circle bigger than when we first started. So we've got him out of expanded his horizons, got him out of that narrow vision. So now, Michael, you can do double legs and just follow with the stick. And the bright coloured stick does help. It's easier to see, like the bright coloured contrast. Is that harder?
A little bit.
That's what we want. And then you make them work backwards and you make them work both hands. See, none of this, I know we're all quite dominant, right or left dominant, but it's really important to maintain your skills in both hands as you move these sticks around. So now, Michael, you want to make it more complex? Okay. So you're going to have one leg down, one leg up. So you're going to sort of, first of all, just get that movement. And then you're going to, like you're rowing, hold the stick in the middle. So, you don't trust me, do you?
No.
Oh. And there. Nice. Now, again, I don't trust him at the moment. Again, you can play the games. You can make them up. I'm giving you some concepts here about how you can organise people and challenge their visual, their vestibular and their proprioceptive system even while they're doing work on the wonder chair, they don't just have to sit there and just press their legs. You can add all of these ideas in to make them work. You can then also get them to do something like this by sticking these to their fridge door. I kind of like that idea because when it's on the fridge door, it gives me another association with the fridge other than eating. Okay, so see it as a healthy option. He's gone very quiet. He's very determined to win this game, aren't you? Michael, you can come off there, please. So then you can turn around and do some things like standing beside. You can put one foot on there, Michael. You had to do the opposite to me, didn't you? And you can lean and touch. And so I might get you to lean forward and touch the pink, lean forward and touch the black. So you're challenging their balance in a different way again. It's getting a little bit more complex and a little bit more dangerous. But because you're close to the wall, there's a bit of a support there as well. And I like that level of complexity of movement because it's a little bit closer to reality. This is what happens. You're moving in multiple and very busy environments. Thank you and enjoy.